Alhamdulillah, Pakistan has been blessed with the coastline of over 1,000 kilometers. Our sea province, which is the exclusive economic zone, which is about 2,040, uh, 240,000 square kilometer. Along with that, we have also 50,000 square kilometer of extended continental shelf. The blue economy has been given a one pillar. Within next 5 years, we are targeting to fetch about 6 billion.
Udan Pakistan is
Yeah.
very futuristic concept, exactly. It's only last approximately 10 to 15 years that attention was paid on Gwadar, and finally it was China which heavily invested not only in developing Gwadar port, but also developing Gwadar International Airport.
Subsequently, then infrastructure developments, and now it is the stabilizing phase from 2025 onward till 2030, where the operationalization will take place. The port infrastructure specifically will be erected in a way, as you are saying, that all the facilities will come into play.
What is the strategy that we have to maintain peace in Balochistan at any cost? Pakistan itself will be benefiting from that peace dividends in Balochistan. What is this strategy and way forward?
This time it is do and die.
Do and
Pakistan,
die.
yes, Pakistan's strategy is to root out all these elements from our soil. Fitna
Hindustan.
Khawarij and Fitna Hindustan, they are into now final stages of elimination. And that is their resistance which is coming up.
Pakistan National Shipping Corporation, which is also close collaboration with Pakistan Navy, and some of the naval officers, of course, do work in that organization.
We are looking at to at least 60 to 70% of our cargo should be lifted by our own ships. At the moment, it is around 10%.
At the present, it is 10% that
10%,
only Pakistani ships.
Exactly. Pakistan is likely to acquire around 30 ships, merchant ships on lease. So how far and how quickly we are able to do that?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and welcome to program Insight in V News English. Dear viewers, today we will talk about potential in Pakistan's blue economy. Pakistan has a huge coastal area, which is approximately more than 900 kilometers. We have a very, very good ports, Port Qasim, then main Karachi port, then we have another developing port, Gwadar port, and more importantly, the way Pakistan should have exploited the true potential of blue economy, it has not been done. What has been hurdles in tapping this huge potential of Pakistan's blue economy? Whether there have been any hurdles from bureaucracy or from other sectors. To discuss this all, in today's conversation, we will definitely get an expert's view that how Pakistan's blue economy concept could be further pushed, number one. And we will also discuss this week, Ministry of Maritime, Government of Pakistan granted first-time license to a British company to run a ferry from Gwadar up to different Gulf countries, including Iran and Iraq. This will mainly help Pakistani intending religious pilgrims, Zaireen, who would be traveling to Iraq and other countries. Although license has been granted, but this ferry service has not been started. And even this license to this ferry service to the British company was granted after 8 years. Why there are so much such delays? And in future, do we expect that Ministry of Maritime Affairs will be issuing more licenses, because only by traveling through ferry services make the journey to the Gulf countries more easier, more cheaper, and more enjoyable? To discuss this all, we are fortunate to have with us former Vice Admiral of Pakistan Navy, Vice Admiral Ahmed Saeed. Vice Admiral Ahmed Saeed has spent long time in Pakistan Navy and served on key strategic positions. And currently he is heading the maritime think tank NEMA, National Institute of Maritime Affairs. Very warm welcome to Program Insight in V News English, Admiral Ahmed Saeed Saab.
Sir, thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
So we have been listening from you about this blue economy, and you are the main concept creator of this blue economy over recent years. Even Pakistani viewers and the viewers in the region, Pakistani public, earlier, due to the lack of perhaps knowledge about the true potential that exists in blue economy, people were not that much aware. But now, thanks to think tanks, your seminars, webinars, discussions, that people know about this blue economy. And in past several conferences and in seminars, it was highlighted that if this sector is truly exploited, truly tapped, then it can contribute in stabilizing Pakistan's economy, because we have rivers, we have huge coastal line, and more importantly, Pakistan's coastal areas are in close proximity with the Gulf region. Admiral Ahmed Saeed sir.
Ji. I think very comprehensively you have covered the questions which I think every Pakistani would like to know. And I really appreciate that you have taken note of the awareness which is being generated by the National Institute of Maritime Affairs for the public as well as for the policymakers.
Exactly.
So starting with, I think first thing, having knowledge of something is very important. So we being a nation which was right from the beginning created in a peculiar circumstances where security took the I think lead seat, and that's the reason our total focus or total energies were focused onto the land. But gradually we started realizing that Alhamdulillah, Pakistan has been blessed with the coastline of over 1,000 kilometers. We also have our sea province, which is the exclusive economic zone, which is about 240,000 square kilometer. Along with that, we have also 50,000 square kilometer of extended continental shelf. So these are the peculiar, I think, gifts which the God has given us. And I, just for the sake of comparison, I can tell you that this sea province is a little bigger than Punjab and little lesser than Balochistan. So that is a huge area. True. So to manage these gifts of the nature, we had to provide a very good governance, policy infrastructure, and guidelines and incentives to the investors. So somehow we did not manage well, and that's the reason the potential, which is around $100 billion, has not been tapped as it should have been.
In blue
so
economy.
This is the start, but of the blue economy, of course. And it has a lot of dimensions, starting from shipping, then the ports, then we have the coastal area, then we have undersea hydrocarbons, minerals, we have the fisheries, we have the aquaculture, we have the shrimp farming, and we have the tourism, we have these ferry services, and rightly said in your intro, and then is the ship construction, ships maintenance, exactly. Ship recycling. It's about 40 different aspects which contribute towards the maritime economy. So ideally, a developing country should be contributing around 6 to 8% of total GDP. So that makes about if we are 400 plus billions today, so that makes around 35 billion should have been. But unfortunately, it is at the moment 1.5%, which is very, very low. So now I think First time I have seen a lot of emphasis are being given.
True.
First time we have seen a plan which has been given to the nation in the name of Udan Pakistan. Within that, the blue economy has been given a one pillar. And within next 5 years, we are targeting to fetch about 6 billion from this. And
Very, very
subsequently, it will be
futuristic
increased.
concept. This Udan Pakistan is
Yeah.
very futuristic concept, exactly.
So coming back to the ferry, I think the ferry service, although not as quickly as it should have been, as you said, about 7 to 8 years it has taken the
Time for
the
getting
processing of
lessons, exactly.
the license. So I think we should have been more faster in pursuing that. So I think now in this particular category, the Minister for Maritime Affairs himself is very active. The Minister
Junaid.
Muhammad Junaid Saab, he has, I think, done a marvelous job in this direction. Not only he has expedited this process, along with that, he has created the Maritime Chamber of Commerce. So to incentivize the business community to invest into these areas. So these are some of the plus about 6 to 7 policies at the moment are under review, and likely that very soon they will be promulgated. So these are the measures which are being taken at the government level.
So Admiral Ahmed Saeed Saab, large number of Pakistanis work in Saudi Arabia, then also in UAE, in Qatar, in Bahrain, and Kuwait, right? Starting from Saudi Arabia, there are very large number of Sudanese workers, and mostly these Sudanese workers travel through ferry from Sudan to Saudi Arabia. And as you briefly mentioned, that this ferry service license that has been recently granted, it took 7 years really. So what do you think, keeping in view this huge Pakistani labor class and white collar job holders who do job in different countries, and currently if we look into airline costs are very, very high. So if there is a quality ferry service that could be between Pakistan, Saudi Arabia, and then Oman, I missed it, Oman, then Bahrain, then UAE, and then, of course, pilgrims, Iran and Iraq. So it can cut the cost of traveling and provide best traveling not only to the pilgrims, but also to the labor class. So what do you think about this idea? So this Ministry of Maritime Affairs should also think about launching the ferry service between Pakistan, UAE, Oman, Bahrain, and these all Gulf countries, basically GCC countries.
Yeah, while I think announcing about the first licensing, the minister himself had already alluded to that more licenses are in the offing. So that is a good omen that we are going into this direction. And as you said, it has a great potential in a way that if you see 3 dimensions, one you have mentioned about the our diaspora, which is in the Gulf countries working, they will have a little cheaper
exactly
transportation method,
affordable, exactly
affordable. But at the same time, it can. The second tier is the that is regarding the religious tourism, integration of Iran, Iraq, and Saudi Arabia, and the pilgrims which are going there, they will also get facilitated with it. And third is the connectivity of other touristic places, which is the global tourism industry will get integrated into Pakistan the moment these kind of activities get started. So it has a huge potential. Again, I can tell you that overall in the world GDP, 10% of the total GDP is contributed by the maritime tourism. So if it is in the tune of plus 1 trillion maritime economy, so roughly 10% makes about 10 billion is being contributed by the maritime tourism. So it has a huge potential. And
yes, huge potential. So coming to this, that since decades and decades we have been talking about And it's only last approximately 10 to 15 years that attention was paid on Gwadar. And finally, it was China which heavily invested not only in developing Gwadar port, but also developing Gwadar International Airport and a number of other projects across Balochistan and in other parts of the country, energy projects and things. But ever since you are a maritime affair expert and analyst, again, I would be saying, other than China, is there is any other country which has expressed keen interest or shown expression of interest in investing in maritime sector in Pakistan? Because if we look into our maritime sector, it needs huge investment. Ferries license has been granted, but there has to be proper terminals, proper system, and then, of course, developing the tourist resorts along with our coastal line that also need foreign investment. Admiral Ahmed Saab.
Gee, the maritime infrastructure development, one we should understand is time consuming, number one, and number two is money intensive. So that's the reason the Gwadar project actually was conceived somewhere back in 70s, late 70s, 80s, and it was not linked with the CPAC. It was indigenous process, which was to be developed by Pakistan. So definitely on the way when the huge money was involved into it, so we're looking forward for some investors. So in the meanwhile, the CPAC also came into play, and CPAC was taken as an opportunity. So that is, I think, a good decision made. So within the CPAC, then it was spread over 3 phases. Starting from initial 2015 onward was the energy projects, subsequently then infrastructure developments, and now it is the stabilizing phase from 2025 onward till 2030, where the operationalization will take place. Within that, the special economic zones will be populated. The channel will be its dredging will be done, and the port infrastructure specifically will be erected in a way, as you are saying, that all the facilities will come into play. So the Chinese overseas port handling company, which is linked with this project, they are taking this in phases. So in my view, the third phase is going to be critical, in which its linkage with the not only with China but as well as with the Central Asian republics, which have shown a lot of interest. Of late, Prime Minister was there and their ministers were here. So Central Asian republics, they are looking forward to have a linkage for transit trade and transshipment also.
This is what my question was, that these are all landlocked countries, including Afghanistan, Central Asia. And as you said, that they wanted definitely their trade access through this Gwadar, through which is known as warm waters. So even that sector we have not exploited properly. We haven't been able to provide that trade corridor to Central Asia, which is totally landlocked, to Afghanistan. Our trade route from Iran has been established and that is operational. But there are a lot of issues in Pakistan. That is called transit trade, as you referred, from part of Afghanistan. So the question is how Central Asia has also huge trade potential. And if there is a proper road network, and of course about train, initial agreement has been signed among three countries, Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Uzbekistan. So what do you think? Why we have been far behind in exploiting this concept, connecting Central Asia with our warm water port, Gwadar?
I think it is to be seen in the overall global, regional, and local context.
Geopolitical.
In the global context, yeah, geopolitical, for the reasons that, again, the time frame is such where the two emerging and I think a little waning superpowers, they are in contestation, and somehow this area has become a fault line. Secondly, on the regional side, if we say, then on the eastern side, again, they are trying to exploit this situation, which is in Balochistan. And there are certain local phenomena as well, in which I think our political systems and the governance system has to take into consideration to create inclusivity with the locals. So they take the responsibility, they become partner, and they should know it is their bread and butter and it should be defended. So once the peace is, of course, the security and peace is the imperative. So that is the reason I think a little delay is seen in terms of connecting up with the Central Asian republics and to some extent with Afghanistan and operationalization of CPEC from China. But I'm pretty hopeful the way I think the operations are being undertaken. And the countries, those who are bordering these lines, communication lines, they have understood that their bread and butter is also linked with it. So I think now is the time it is going to be sorted out. And soon, inshallah, we will see this connectivity and the trade corridors connecting up sea and on land as well, I think very soon.
So since you talked about Balochistan, which is the major beneficiary of China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, and of course, other than very, very vibrant and deep sea port Gwadar, we have huge mineral reserves, Reko and then Sandik, and then there are hundreds of other smaller mines across Balochistan. So, but at the same time, you hinted at law and order situation. Fitnatul Hindustan is very active in Balochistan. Pakistani civil, military, political leadership has already made it clear that after getting massive defeat in 10th May, conflict with Pakistan, India has increased its proxies. So now it's a big security challenge for Pakistan. What is the way forward? What is the strategy that we have to maintain peace in Balochistan at any cost? Because if peace is established, these all dreams could be fulfilled of connectivity with Central Asia, with Afghanistan, and of course, Pakistan itself will be benefiting from that peace dividends in Balochistan. What is this strategy and way forward?
I think this time it is do and die.
Do and
Pakistan,
die.
Yes, Pakistan's strategy is to root out all these elements from our soil. And in that, I think Fitna
Hindustan.
Khawarij and Fitna Hindustan, they are into now final stages of elimination. And that is their resistance which is coming up. So, as I said, they have been cornered from each side, no way to go out. And that's where they are fighting it out their last breath, I think. So I'm pretty hopeful the way we are treating and the way we are going, although my hats off to all our security forces, those who are taking losses also. But with this, they are determined to root out these elements. And soon this is going to be a peaceful region as other part of the country.
So whatever is our take from this analysis, that there has to be firm resolve, and there has to be, situation has to be dealt with iron hand. No compromise with such elements. Such strategy or policy could only lead to success in establishing the writ of the state. Now, coming to, of course, this law and order situation is quite closely linked with pushing forward our blue economy concept. So there is a biggest organization, that is Pakistan National Shipping Corporation. And a couple of months back, perhaps hardly 2-3 months back, Prime Minister of Pakistan visited that. And there was a lot of emphasis in carrying out reforms in that and making that organization more vibrant. And that is one of the largest organizations in developing this shipping and shipping policies. So I need your thoughts on this, that what is the role of this Pakistan National Shipping Corporation, which is also close collaboration with Pakistan Navy, and some of the naval officers, of course, do work in that organization. How that organization could be made more effective so that Pakistan's shipping policy could be made more effective, attractive?
I think PNSC has been doing, despite its small number of ships, it has been doing a formidable job in a way. But as you already highlighted, that it's nowadays it is the business community which has to run the business. So that is the key. So that is the reason now a shipping company jointly has been introduced, which is steadily, which will be growing in size, where the private sector is coming up to have their own ships operating. So that is where we are looking at to at least 60 to 70% of our cargo should be lifted by our own ships. At the moment, it is around 10%.
At the present, it is 10% that 10%. Only Pakistani ships.
Exactly. So that is the reason we have to pay higher freights to the shippings which are hired to carry our cargo. Number one. Number two, owing to disturbances at sea, the insurance charges also rises. So this is another part which makes the cost of doing business at sea a little difficult for us, particularly for Pakistan. So to overcome this problem, Pakistan will have to have its own shipping company, own shipping or private operators, where we are able to at least lift off more than 60% of our own cargo. So that will give us more leverage in terms of, number one, we will have to pay to them freight in Pak rupees, not in the dollars. Yes. So now at least as per our calculation, somewhere close to 7 to 8 billion is being paid annually in the freight charges.
7 to 8 billion dollars.
So 50% to 60% can be saved if we have our own shippings. So that is, I think that is the reason a few days back, an announcement was made that the Pakistan is likely to acquire around 30 ships, merchant ships on lease. So how far and how quickly we are able to do that, that is another part. But this is where we have to go. And the Prime Minister is fully, I think, he on the maritime side, he is taking a lot of interest. And personally, he is monitoring a lot of progress, specifically the operationalization of the Gwadar port and its related issues. And that's the reason they had
the company you referred that has been established, this Pakistan Shipping Company.
Yeah, it has been it is into the finals, I believe, along with the NLC. This company is being erected, so that is going to be another part of it. But having said that, on the cabinet side, they had decided that 60% of our imports will be taken from Gwadar, so that our cargo starts coming there, specifically the fertilizers, the sugar, and cement, and all these things which are being taken. So that will actually start mobilizing our forces, and as well as it will give a semblance of operationalization of our Gwadar port as well.
So since almost last 2 decades, we have been listening since the days of General Pervez Musharraf. He was also quite active, as the current government is quite active in reviving this blue economy of Pakistan. Since that actual question is about Gwadar, do you think still with the right direction, with the right policies, with the foreign investment, with the Chinese investment, Gwadar has a true potential of becoming the future regional port? Despite these all proxies and hostilities by anti-state elements and these all things, do you still hopeful that it would be a future trade corridor and a trade port in Pakistan?
Yes, I am 100% sure it is going to play its part. And as far as potential is concerned, once it was envisaged, so it was calculated to be about 10 billion per year contribution of Gwadar port to our national economy. It is almost similar to the Suez Canal, which is giving the similar amount to the Egyptian government. So it was at that time it was said that it's a Suez Canal for Pakistan on land.
So, if properly tapped, exactly, and executed.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the 2 phases of CPEC has been completed, and 3rd phase has started off. And along with that, security is being taken head on, and with the iron hand, I think the things are going on. No let loose has been given to anybody. So with this mindset and plus operationalization has been focused on. So I think it is going to be in next 2 to 3 years. Gwadar is going to be paying its dividend to Pakistan economy.
We are in the last segment of the program. Finally, I would like to seek your expert opinion about the existing framework, existing strategies, policies. Do we have a proper maritime policy? If so, and do you think it needs to be revisited, reviewed, keeping in view new developments, geopolitical of course, aspects and developments which are taking place in the region, and new business challenges and things like that. So, number one, are we satisfied with the existing framework, policies, strategies, and do we have a proper blue economy policy?
I think had we had been satisfied, the things would have been in a better position. So that indicates our policies are not in correct forms. So having said that, we have had this realizations, and that's the reason the government immediately took upon revising these policies, starting from the National Maritime Policy. Then is the National Maritime Strategy. National Maritime Policy has taken a lot of inputs. Ministry of MoMA was very active on this, and I think it is into the final stages now.
So National Maritime Policy is in the final stage.
Yeah, that is the Bible of our entire maritime directions, I would say.
Exactly.
That will give the political direction to and political will to the strategist to develop their strategies on those lines.
Okay.
So then is this, of course, then are the strategies and follows. Then we have merchant marine policy that has been reviewed. Then we have fishery policies that has been reviewed, along with the aquaculture policy. Tourism policies also, Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif Sahab has categorically given directions to the PTDC that they should look into the tourism as well, inclusive the maritime tourism, because earlier on we were only looking towards the land tourism. So now the maritime tourism is becoming part of it. So that is another a good direction which we are taking. So on the policy side, I would say a lot of agitation has been taken into account, and a lot of work has been done. So again, I say within 4 to 6 months, I see these policies will be coming into play, and it will give a good place and incentive to the foreign direct investments as well.
Thank you so much indeed, Vice Admiral Ahmed Saeed, who is currently President of National Institute of Maritime Affairs. That is the only premier national level think tank on maritime affairs, for participating in our program and sharing his strategic insight into maritime sector, to potential, what are the hurdles, what are the other problems which Pakistan's maritime sector is facing. Dear viewers, till our next program, goodbye and Khuda Hafiz.